So, have you guys been keeping up with the absolute chaos happening in Los Angeles lately? Because it feels like the world of the Forresters and the Spencers is about to just completely explode. I mean, was Wyatt Spencer's return really just a simple family visit? Or is there something way more calculated going on behind those Spencer Publications doors? Think about it for a second, because we haven't seen Wyatt in 2.5 years, and suddenly he's the marketing whiz Bill needs to save the day. Today we have to talk about the return of the prodigal son and the fact that his younger brother, Will, is out here throwing punches like he's in an underground fight club. It's not just a soap opera reunion anymore. It's a full-on psychological war for who gets to run the city. Do you think any of these people are actually safe right now? Or are we just waiting for the next bomb to drop? Well, let's look at the facts first, because on Wednesday, May 27, 2026, the silence finally broke. Wyatt Spencer is officially back in town after being gone since 2023, and he didn't just wander back in on his own. Dollar Bill Spencer actually summoned him back because he wants to strike while the iron is hot, with the Logan brand. The funny thing is, Bill always talks about his dream of having his 3 sons working together at Spencer Publications, but he treats them more like corporate assets than actual human beings. Why did he call Wyatt right now of all times? I personally think it's because Bill sees the Logans gaining too much ground and he needs Wyatt's finger on the pulse to make sure the Spencers don't get left behind. It's a total power move, and honestly, it's classic Bill Spencer behavior to treat his family like a deck of cards he can just shuffle whenever he wants. When you really dig into Wyatt's return, you have to wonder what's going on in his head after being away for 30 months. He was supposedly off with Flo Fulton, but Darren Brooks is teasing that he's coming back with a surprise special guest, who isn't necessarily his girlfriend. Does that mean things went south with Flo? Or is he bringing someone back to help him take over the family business? I feel like Wyatt always uses his humor and his banter to hide how insecure he feels compared to Liam, the moral right-hand man. He's the middle child who always had to prove he was useful, and now he's being dragged back into the drama just when he probably thought he was free. How do you feel about Bill just summoning his kids like they're employees on call? I disagree with it completely because it's predatory parenting, but you can't deny it makes for great television. And while Wyatt is dealing with his dad's demands, his little brother Will is over at the bikini bar causing a total scene. Can you believe Will actually punched R.J. Forrester right in the gut while they were celebrating the bar's reopening? This is not the little kid we used to know. This is a Spencer stallion in training who clearly has some major anger issues. Will and RJ are both obsessed with Electra Forrester, and neither one of them wants to back down. The trigger for the punch was so small. RJ just reached out to touch Electra's arm, but Will saw it and just lost it. It was a total gut punch, literally, and the scary part is that Electra didn't even see it happen because her back was turned. Does that make you worry about Will's future with her? Or do you think he was just protecting what's his? I think this punch is the first major red flag in Will and Electra's reunion. Will put that wee necklace back on her neck, which was supposed to be romantic, but now it feels more like he's marking his territory. He told RJ to stay away from his girl, and then he just attacked him without a second thought. It shows a level of possessiveness that is honestly terrifying, especially since he's hiding this side of himself from Electra. He acts like a sweet, loving boyfriend at the beach house with the candles and the undying love talk, but then he's out here assaulting his cousin in bars. It's a psychological mask he's wearing, and I think he's pathologically incapable of sharing the spotlight with RJ. Do you think Will is turning into a mini version of Bill? Or is he even worse because he has no self-control? RJ isn't just going to take that punch lying down though, and honestly I don't blame him. He's already lobbying Steffi and Rich to fire Will from Forrester Creations immediately. RJ feels like he's the golden boy of the company, and that a Spencer like Will has no business being there. The funny thing is, the Forresters actually like Will's work and they've been refusing to let him go, but this punch might be the one thing that changes their minds. RJ is using his family power to get revenge for a personal grudge, which is such a Nepo baby move, don't you think? He can't win Electra's heart, so he's trying to destroy Will's career instead. It's a battle of the legacies, and I think RJ is feeling humiliated and jealous because Electra chose Will over him. Then we have Electra herself, who is caught in the middle of this hurricane and has no idea what's actually happening. She's the spirited grandniece of Eric Forrester who came to LA with big ambitions for a jewelry line, but she's carrying a past she's absolutely terrified of. And guess what? That past just showed up in the form of a guy named Remy Price. Remy is her anonymous stalker, and he's been watching her every move at Il Giardino and the bikini bar. When he saw her getting close to Will, his jealousy flared up, and now he's ready to take things to the next level. The weirdest part is that Elektra didn't even seem alarmed when she first saw him, which makes me wonder if she even knows he's the one who's been haunting her. Is she trapped between a violent boyfriend and a dangerous stalker? And which one is the bigger threat? I honestly feel like Elektra needs to run as fast as she can because she's surrounded by predators. Will wants to own her with necklaces and violence, and Remy wants to obsess over her from the shadows. She's looking for protection, but she's gravitating toward men who mirror the same toxic behavior she's trying to escape. It's a classic case of trauma bonding where she misinterprets Will's aggression as passion, because she's so used to being hunted. And let's not forget about the corporate side of things because the Logans are making some massive moves too. Hope Logan is done being the sweet girl, and is demanding that Brooke be named co-CEO to take away Steffi's power. Can you believe Hope is actually threatening to quit Forrester Creations if she doesn't get her way? Hope is fed up with being sidelined, and she's using Brooke as a corporate weapon to get what she wants. She thinks the Logans are being pushed out of the top jobs, and she's ready to burn down her relationship with the Forresters to save her legacy. This is like Brooke versus Stephanie all over again, but this time it's about spreadsheets and CEO titles instead of just romantic rivalries. Hope is even talking to other companies and hinting that she has offers elsewhere, which is driving Steffi crazy. I love Dark Hope because she's finally standing up for herself, but I disagree with Brooke just going along with it because it's going to ruin her marriage to Ridge. Do you think the Logans are being opportunists like Stephanie used to say? Or are they just fighting for what they've earned? And then there's Katie Logan, who is out here plotting her own takeover by starting a competing fashion brand called Spencer/Logan. She wants to find a designer who can fill Eric's shoes, and Liam is actually telling her she should hire Hope to run the whole thing. This is setting the stage for a massive family feud, because Donna is terrified that this professional rivalry will destroy the sisters' bond forever. Donna is trying to be the peacemaker, but Katie is adamant that she needs a fashion icon to make her brand work. The funny thing is, the Spencer family is basically trying to poach the Logans right out of Forrester Creations while the Forresters are busy fighting over who should be fired. It's a total mess, and I'm here for every single second of it. So, things are clearly getting worse before they get any better. We have Wyatt returning with a surprise guest on the second day of his return, and people are already speculating it could be Quinn Fuller coming back to cause chaos. We have Will's violent tendencies escalating to the point where someone might actually get seriously hurt. And we have a literal stalker named Remy lurking in the shadows of Los Angeles, waiting for his chance to strike. If Ridge and Steffi actually listen to RJ and fire Will, they're going to have to deal with the full wrath of Dollar Bill Spencer. And we all know he doesn't play fair. Bill is a shark and a stampeding elephant, and he will destroy anyone who touches his sons. I'm predicting that Wyatt's surprise guest is going to be the biggest bomb of the season. If it's Flo with a secret child or Quinn back to reclaim her throne, the Spencers are never going to be the same. I also think Hope is actually going to sign that Logan contract and leave Forrester, which will spark a war that splits the fashion world in half. And what about Will? I think his obsession with Elektra is going to lead him into a direct confrontation with Remy Price, and it's going to be a bloodbath. He's trying to be a protector, but he's actually becoming the very thing she's afraid of. Do you think Elektra will find out about the punch before it's too late? Or is she going to be blindsided by Will's dark side? I want to hear from you guys in the comments because this is a lot to take in. First off, do you think Will was justified in punching RJ? Or is he showing dangerous signs that he's just as toxic as Bill? Second, who do you think is coming back with Wyatt? Is it Quinn, Flo? Or maybe even someone we've never met before who's going to change everything? And finally, do you think Hope should leave Forrester and join Katie's new brand? Or is that just a recipe for family destruction? This show has been running since 1987, but it feels like the drama is fresher than ever right now. If you want to keep up with every single Spencer move and every Logan takeover, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a thing. We're tracking all the spoilers and the secret deals, so stay tuned for the next update when we find out who that mystery guest really is. Catch you in the next one. Today we have to look at this corporate hit job from a psychological angle because this isn't just about who sits in the big CEO chair. This is about family loyalty, deep-seated resentment, and a legacy that is literally tearing itself apart, right in front of our eyes. Let's really break down what's happening here because things have moved way past simple office drama. Hope Logan is officially done being the sweet girl from the valley that everyone can just walk over. She has gone to her mother and basically demanded that Brooke be named co-CEO alongside Ridge, so they can finally neutralize Steffi's power. Why is she doing this now? Well, if you look at how Steffi has been treating the Hope for the Future line, it's pretty obvious. Hope feels like the Logan family is being systematically erased from the company they helped build. She sees Steffi using her leadership role as a weapon to sideline her professional dreams, and she's reached her absolute breaking point. It's a classic survival move. She's realized that in the world of high fashion, being nice just gets you kicked to the curb. I honestly think Hope has finally stopped asking for a seat at the table and has decided to just build her own, even if it means knocking the Forresters off theirs. But here is where it gets really juicy and honestly a little bit terrifying for Brooke. The funny thing is, Brooke actually agrees with Hope that the leadership structure needs to change, which is a huge shift for her. But she has no idea that Hope is playing a much darker game than just asking for a promotion. Brooke recently overheard a secret conversation between Hope and Carter Walton, and what she heard was basically a plan for a full-on coup. They aren't just looking for a seat for Brooke. They are plotting to strip both Ridge and Steffi of their titles entirely. Can you imagine the shock Brooke must have felt in that moment? She's standing there, listening to her daughter and the company's lead attorney plan to assassinate the career of the man she calls her destiny. It puts Brooke in a psychological cage because now she's the one holding the grenade. I want you to think about what Brooke is feeling internally right now. On one hand, you have her star-crossed love with Ridge, which has defined her entire life for decades. They have been through everything together. Divorces, scandals, you name it, and they always find their way back. But then you have Hope, her daughter, who is basically the embodiment of Brooke's own legacy. If Brooke tells Ridge about the plan, she is essentially betraying her daughter and potentially ruining Hope's future. But if she keeps quiet, she is a traitor to her husband. It is a total loyalty test that feels like a trap. I personally think Brooke is feeling a massive amount of guilt because she wants to be the Logan matriarch who protects her own, but she also can't imagine a world where she isn't Brooke and Ridge. How do you even choose between your child's ambition and your husband's life work? And let's talk about Hope for a second because her transformation into Dark Hope is honestly the most interesting thing we've seen in years. Why is she acting like this? It's not just about greed. I think it's a trauma response to years of being treated like a second-class citizen by Steffi and the other Forresters. She's tired of being the opportunist from the valley that Stephanie Forrester used to talk about. She wants to prove once and for all that the Logans belong at the top because of their talent, not just because they married into the family. Psychologically, she is reclaiming her power, but she's doing it in a way that is incredibly manipulative. She's using Brooke as a moral shield to make this takeover look like it's for the good of the family, when it's really about her own need for control. Do you agree with her move? Or do you think she's being just as bad as the people she's trying to replace? Then we have the Carter factor, which is honestly a bit of a shocker. Why is the man who is supposed to be the legal backbone of Forrester Creations helping to dismantle it? I suspect Carter is suffering from a massive case of professional burnout. He's been the loyal soldier for the Forresters for so long, and I think he's finally realized that they will never truly see him as an equal. By siding with Hope and Brooke, he's trying to seize some of that power for himself. He's tied his ego to this coup, and that makes him a very dangerous player. I actually disagree with his decision to go rogue legally because it could destroy his entire career, but you have to understand the insecurity of someone who has always been an outsider looking in. The stakes for Brooke are just so high because this isn't just an office argument. It's a marriage killer. If she supports Hope's daring plan, she is going to alienate Ridge in a way that they might never recover from. Ridge has spent his whole life building that company, and for his own wife to be part of a plot to strip him of his title? That is the ultimate betrayal. I think Brooke knows that keeping this secret is already a form of lying to him. Every time they kiss or talk about their future, she is carrying the weight of this sneaky takeover. It must be eating her alive. Do you think she can actually pull off being a double agent? Or is the truth going to come out and blow her whole life up? And let's not forget that while all this is happening, Other people are watching from the sidelines. Katie Logan is over there plotting her own project at the Logan Company, and she's even trying to poach Hope to come and work for her. Katie wants to build a new brand that could rival Forrester, and she thinks Hope is the missing piece to make it happen. This adds even more pressure on Brooke because if Hope doesn't get what she wants at Forrester, she might just quit and go to Katie. This would split the Logan sisters down the middle and create a professional rivalry that could destroy their family bond forever. Donna is already terrified that this is going to be the end of the Logan sisters as we know them, and honestly, she might be right. The escalation here is just incredible. Hope has already started making exit threats, telling Ridge and Steffi that she might just walk away if she doesn't get the creative control she craves. This is a huge psychological move because she's using her talent as leverage. She's basically saying, if you don't give me the power I want, I'll take my fashion line and leave you with nothing. I think it's a brilliant but very risky move. If Steffi calls her bluff, Hope has to actually leave, and then where does that leave Brooke? Brooke would be stuck at Forrester with a husband who probably hates her for what she's been hiding, and a daughter who is now her biggest competitor. It is a total disaster waiting to happen. I want to talk about my own opinion on this for a second because I have some thoughts. I actually think Brooke should be honest with Ridge, but I don't think she will be. Brooke's history shows that she always tries to fix things behind the scenes, and that usually leads to a massive explosion later on. She's pathologically incapable of being direct when she thinks it will hurt someone she loves. So, my prediction is that she's going to keep quiet, try to talk Hope out of it, and then get caught right in the middle when the coup actually starts. When Ridge finds out she knew and said nothing, that's going to be the end of Bridge for a long, long time. What do you think? Can their marriage survive a secret this big? There's also this weird distraction going on with the younger generation that might blow back on the Logans too. Well, Spencer is out here punching RJ Forrester in the gut over Elektra, and RJ is demanding that will be fired immediately. I want to hear from you guys because this is getting so complicated. First, if you were Brooke, would you tell Ridge about the plan? Or would you stay quiet to protect your daughter? It's a tough one, right? Second, do you think Hope is being a villain here? Or is she just doing what she has to do to survive in a company that doesn't respect her? The debate in the comments is always the best part of these videos, so let me know where you stand. Are you Team Logan or Team Forrester in this CEO war?